Now, if you've ever dealt with payroll, you already know it can be a total maze. You've got numbers, constantly changing regulations, a million variables to track. It's a lot. But we're going to see exactly how this specific workbook acts like a fully integrated machine, taking all that raw, messy data and transforming it into a seamless, automated system.
But first, let's just think about the real-world headache here. How do you actually manage complex payrolls without relying on incredibly expensive, clunky enterprise software? Well, for a lot of businesses, the answer has historically been, messy manual spreadsheets. And we all know the pain points there. The late nights tracking down attendance, cross-referencing tax brackets that keep changing, and just that constant nagging fear of making a really costly calculation error. That is the exact problem this automated workbook perfectly solves. It literally brings enterprise-level efficiency right to your desktop.
To see exactly how it pulls this off, here is a roadmap for today. We're going to follow the whole life cycle of a payroll cycle. First, setting up the rules. Second, managing employee data. Third, the payroll engine. Fourth, generating key outputs. And finally, number 5, the big picture dashboard.
Okay, let's dive into part 1, setting up the rules, or, as I like to call it, setting the dials.
This is where we essentially fuel our payroll engine by configuring the core parameters. Before we jump into the specific numbers, just picture the exact blueprint you follow in this workbook. It's a beautifully linear flow. You start at the control panel, verify your tax slabs, update the employee master, let the payroll register crunch all the math, and then you just review the pay slips and the dashboard. It's a totally straightforward path from setup to finished product. So let's anchor ourselves right at step 1, the control panel. Imagine we're setting this up for an example company, let's call it ZYX Limited, for the pay period of June 2026. A brilliant piece of user design here is the color coding. In this workbook, whenever you see blue text, that immediately indicates a manual input. Those are the fields you actually need to touch, like the company name, your NTN or national tax number, and the specific month and year you're running.
But the control panel goes way beyond just typing in a company name. This is your command center for global policies. It's where you set the absolute editable assumptions for your entire organization. You define the salary structure percentages, so setting basic salary to 50% of gross, house rent to 45% of basic, things like that. You lock in the attendance policy, like standard calendar days and overtime multipliers. And you also dial in the statutory rules. I'm talking about EOBI state pension rates, provident fund percentages for both the employee and the employer, plus Social Security and gratuity rates. By setting these dials just once right here, you establish the immutable rules for the whole company.
The final piece of our setup involves the tax slabs. For instance, the progressive income tax slabs for salaried individuals for tax year 2026. Honestly, this sheet is a massive time saver. Because tax regulations change every single fiscal year, calculating them manually is just a minefield for errors. By having a dedicated space where the progressive rates are laid out, from 0% all the way up to 35% for the highest earners, the engine can automatically apply these rates to every single person on your payroll. You update it once a year, and the math just completely takes care of itself.
All right, moving on to part 2, managing employee data. This is where we're loading the fuel. Now we actually load in our raw material. When you're looking at the employee master list, it's really vital to distinguish between 2 totally different types of data. On one side, you have your static HR data. This is basically just record keeping, the employee's CNIC national identity number, their department, their bank name, their IBAN. On the other side, though, we have the critical engine feeds. These are the financial inputs that matter most, specifically the contracted gross monthly salary and the date of joining. These specific data points are what will actually power the mathematical formulas in our next step. Now, before we actually hit the engine, there is one crucial piece of jargon we need to clear up regarding attendance, and that's LOP, or loss of pay. As the definition breaks down, these are unpaid leave days taken by an employee when they've completely exhausted their paid leave. It's super important because if an employee has LOP days, it directly reduces their days paid for the month. That dynamically impacts the engine, shrinking their basic salary, their allowances, and ultimately their net pay for that cycle.
Okay, part 3, the payroll engine. We are officially entering the engine room.
This right here is the absolute heart of the system. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it does all the heavy lifting for you. Let's deconstruct the specific math using our example CFO, Ahmed Raza. Let's say he has a contracted gross monthly salary of 850,000 PKR. Remember all those percentages we set back in the control panel? Well, the engine automatically calculates his basic salary as 50% of the gross, which gives us 425,000.
It then calculates house rent at 45% of that basic, resulting in $191,250. Medical is 10% of basic, and utilities make up the remaining balance. The beautiful thing is, without you typing a single formula, those static percentages from the setup drive these exact, perfectly balanced currency amounts for every single employee.
So, the really crucial point here is understanding what happens after that gross salary is calculated. The engine essentially splits the math into two very distinct categories: deductions versus costs. On the deductions side, we have funds taken directly out of the employee's pocket. That's your withheld income tax, their personal share of the Provident Fund and EOBI. This directly reduces their final net pay. But simultaneously, the engine calculates the employer contributions. This is the cost to company, or CTC. These are the hidden costs paid by the employer, like the company's matching share of the Provident Fund, Social Security, and gratuity provisions. The engine just seamlessly tracks both sides of the coin at the exact same time.
Which brings us to Part 4, generating key outputs, the finished goods.
Once that engine runs, it automatically spits out highly professional documents. The most immediate output is the individual payslip. And what's fantastic here is the absolute lack of manual data entry. Literally, by simply selecting an employee ID from a drop-down menu, like EMP001 for our CFO, the sheet instantly populates a perfectly balanced, completely printable payslip. On one side, it lists the gross earnings, including all those calculated allowances and bonuses, and right alongside it, it clearly details the total deductions from income tax all the way down to Provident Fund contributions.
And then, when the engine aggregates the net pay for every single employee across all the different departments, we get our final critical figure, 3.872576 PKR. That right there is the total net salary payable across the entire company of ZYX Limited for the month of June 2026.
But, as we all know, just knowing the total isn't enough. You actually have to pay your people, and that brings us to the bank advice sheet. The workbook automatically formats a clean, error-free salary disbursement advice. It completely compiles the employee names, their specific bank names, their exact IBANs, and their final net salary payable amounts. So you have this perfectly formatted list that is ready for direct submission to the bank. There's absolutely no copying, no pasting, and zero chance of transposition errors.
Let's move to Part 5 and see how this builds into the big picture dashboard. It's time to check the gauges. This is where all that highly granular data becomes actual, high-level business intelligence. One of the great visual tools on this dashboard is the deductions mix. When we analyze the distribution of the company's payroll deductions, it becomes instantly clear exactly where those withheld funds are going. A massive 76% of all deductions are going straight toward income tax, with the Provident Fund making up another 18%. This gives management and the finance team immediate, at-a-glance clarity on their statutory withholding liabilities for the month.
Furthermore, the dashboard provides a really helpful department-wise summary. By reviewing the total net payable broken down this way, management gets instant insight into where their primary payroll cash flow is actually being distributed. For example, we can see that the finance department is the largest draw at roughly 1.13 million PKR, followed by production at 915,000 and sales and marketing at 636,000. This is vital, automated budgeting data, and it requires literally zero extra reporting work to generate.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. Look at the sheer efficiency, the accuracy, and the depth of insight we just walked through together, all generated from one single well-architected workbook. So ask yourself, is your current payroll process this seamlessly integrated, or are you still spending hours relying on disjointed manual calculations? The true power of an automated engine like this isn't just in saving you time. It's in the total confidence that your numbers are dead right every single month. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this fascinating tool. Keep learning, keep optimizing,